Hi traders, welcome back. So today we're going to be talking about support and resistance levels, better known as supply and demand zones. Um, and what I did here, I put together this little chart here for us to kind of look at here. And essentially what it is the US dollar, Canadian dollar pair. And I marked off on this chart in green the support areas or the demand areas, and I marked off in the red the resistant areas or the supply areas. Now, those of you who are kind of new to this about support and resistance or supply and demand, I just give you a little brief overview. Typically, when you have strong demand for a product or service, it's going to increase the price. And if you have an oversupply of a product or services, it typically means that you're going to have to reduce the price in order to get anyone to purchase your product or service, right? And to kind of give you an example, let's just say we're at a baseball game and it's a really hot summer day, and let's just say, I don't know, I'm a vendor, I'm a water bottle vendor, right? And I got the coldest water in the stadium. Actually, I got the only water in the stadium. And so we got, let's say, 30 or 40 people out there at the game. Guess what? They're going to probably bid up that price of that water bottle extremely high because everybody's going to want it, right? It's the only one there. So demand is going to be high. Now, let's take that same situation and say instead of having one water bottle or one vendor, that we got multiple water vendors at the game that day. So I'm not the only one out there peddling water to thirsty individuals, but we have multiple people out there. Matter of fact, we got so many people out there that is just we got a line of vendors waiting to get in to give water to folks, right? So essentially, what's going to happen? People are going to have more of a choice. It's going to be an oversupply, and probably us water vendors are going to have to lower our prices to be able to get people to entice someone to be able to purchase our our product and services, right? So actually, we're going to probably almost be giving it away, pretty much taking a loss in some cases, trying to get rid of our product. And the currency markets, the stock markets, just the markets in general, they all pretty much uh, adhere to that principle of supply and demand. And one of the things, and one of the ways that I love to trade, especially with my currency pairs, is based off of supply and demand. I like to look for supply and demand zones within the currency pairs to kind of help me get my setup for that pair. So once again, just kind of piggybacking on that note right there. And if we look over here, let's see where my mouse is, right? To this area here with support, we'll see that price started up over here at about 132, right? And then over time it came all the way down to this support level here at about 127, right? And then from that support right there, buyers came in and said, hey, this is way too cheap. We need to get in on this. Let's move this price back up, right? And so they did. And it came all the way back up to here, right? At about 131. And then once again, buyers said, well, you know what, this is probably a little overpriced right now. So a lot of this in the market. I don't know if I really want to buy at this price. So you started getting a sell off because it's, once again, too much supply. And then it came back again, right? This is right 128. And it kind of repeated this over time, right? As you see, it came all the way back up here to this red line here, right? Which is another little area that I kind of marked off on my resistance zone. And once again, when I say resistance zone, I'm not looking for a pinpoint number down to the exact pips as far as where I'm going to sell at. What I'm looking for is areas where I look and I see where there's a lot of sell-off, or historically it's been a lot of sell-off in that area, right? Because that just kind of lets me know that once my currency pair gets to that area, that I need to be thinking about potentially putting in a sell order myself, right? Now, of course, there's going to be times where you get to that area and a sell-off doesn't occur. What actually happens is it continues to go higher. You can see from right here, right? This right here is actually October 20th, 2016, right? It crossed over the my little resistant zone here, right? And it continued to go up, right? And typically that's what we would call a breakout, but that's not what we're going to talk about today. Once again, today we're just kind of keeping it simple. We're just talking about supply and resistance. I'm sorry, supply and demand, and support and resistance. So once again, if we look up here, right, we see where my little red area here, uh, my little resistance zone or supply zone up here, right, and it starts to have a sell off, right, and it comes all the way back down to here, right, and then from here it goes back up again to another resistant area, right, or supply oversupply zone, right, and bounces around there for a little while before it breaks and comes back down to another support zone down here, right. Very good idea, especially if you're starting out, to try to look at a chart and just try to study where you see these supply and demand zones, right? Support and resistance zones. See if you can find them, right? And the way that you find them is that essentially what you're looking at is looking for where it's made a high and then it's dropped back down to a low of some sort and then bounces and goes back up again, right? You're not really looking at when it's kind of moving sideways. That's not something that you're looking at. You're looking for definitive. It went up, made a high, dropped back down, um, made a low relative to that high, came back up again, right? And if you just start to try to really kind of grasp those basic concepts, this one basic concept right here, you're gonna be surprised as far as how much of a difference it's gonna make in your trading. And the reason being is because now what you're going to start understanding is that when you start buying in where you're at a support zone, right? Now you're buying in with the market forces. You're not buying against the market forces. You're not buying against what Wall Street is buying, because Wall Street is looking at these support and resistance zones as well, right? They're looking for these lows, they're looking for these highs, okay? A lot of mistakes a lot of folks make is that they go in and they do not try to pinpoint where the market is relative to these support and resistance zones, and they just think, well, hey, it looks like it's going up, so I'm just gonna go ahead and get in. I'm gonna start buying up, and they get in and they don't realize that they may be at a resistance zone, right? And they're trying to buy at a resistance zone. Sometimes it works, as this one right here did, right? Other time it don't work, right? Right? If you'd have brought it over here, right? Well, it's going up, right? No, it's going down, right? Uh, so once again, when we're trying to make our money through trading, we're trying to put the odds in our favor, right? So we're looking for ways to increase our odds of being right. And the more we're able to increase the odds of being right, the more highly likely that we're going to be successful in our trade, right? Especially if we put in our proper stop losses and we're using proper money management skills, which we'll get into that in later discussions. Once again, thank you for joining me for this discussion. Hope you enjoyed it. Come back for some more.